I'm operating under the thought that the Knicks aren't trading for Donovan Mitchell, and they're going to go with this roster, which I like. I think the only thing that we can say that the biggest question mark with this roster is defense. But still, they brought back Mitchell Robinson. They got in Jalen Brunson. They got Isaiah Hartenstein. And they were able to move off of Al Burks, Nerlens Noel. And they also have, 8 draft picks over the next few years. Trevor Keels was signed to a 2-way. Jericho Sims got a, multi-year contract. And I think they did good in this draft. They were able to move off of Kemba Walker. And really, they didn't really lose anybody. Okay, that was of value. Now, let's talk about why I believe the Knicks. Look, the Knicks signed Jalen Brunson and Isaiah Hartenstein. They brought back Mitchell Robinson on a 4-year deal. And I don't think they're going to land Mitchell, but I think those 7 first-round picks are way more valuable, in my opinion, because you can get multiple players with those picks. I don't know. I just don't think it's worth going for it. So let's talk about the roster. Starting lineup, most likely, if I have to be honest, probably going to look a bit like... I think it's definitely going to be an interesting one because, look, let's talk about it. Derrick Rose is probably going to be the 6th man with Jalen Brunson starting. You're either going to start Emmanuel Quickley at shooting guard or Evan Fournier. I'm going with Evan Fournier with RJ Barrett at small forward. You run Julius Randle at power forward, Mitchell Robinson at center. Isaiah Hartenstein backs him up. Obi Toppin backs up Julius Randle. RJ Barrett is going to be backed up by a combination, I believe, of Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish. And then, shooting guard, it's either, like I said, Emmanuel Quickley or Evan Fournier, and whoever doesn't start backs that person up, with Quentin Grimes also helping out there, and even Trevor Keels. And then Derrick Rose will be the main backup for Jalen Brunson, who will be the starting point guard, with Miles Mcbride being the 3rd string. And I think this is a good team. Miles Mcbride is an underrated player. Miles Mcbride is a fantastic basketball player, a guy that I think will have a long NBA career. His floor is being Javon Carter, okay? But his ceiling, let me tell you about this man's ceiling. This man's got a ceiling so high, I say, that I honestly think he could become one of the premier 2-way player, point guards in the NBA. Pseudo Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones is a good defender, but maybe not premier. Maybe like a solid, one of the best backup point guards and a spot starter. However, I still think this is a fantastic team that bringing in Jalen Brunson and I don't know. I think it's definitely a good offseason that they had. Now, Jalen Brunson joining the Knicks was something I think everyone was waiting to happen. I think we all knew that was going to happen. And obviously they're getting investigated for tampering. But I look at this team and I like it. I think they made the moves that needed to be made. Okay. And with this roster, there's some veteran talent, but mainly it's young, okay? Their 3 oldest players are Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier, and Julius Randle. Then everybody else is either going into their 5th season or below. So that's pretty wild to think about. And Julius Randle is basically only 27, 28. He's in the prime of his career. Same thing with Evan Fournier. Obviously, Derrick Rose is, on the other side of his prime, but Derrick Rose is still a good 6th man. Evan Fournier, I know the question marks with him is defense. And hopefully, that defense comes. Evan Fournier, can we get him to try on defense? Because if he can just try on defense, he's passable. Jalen Brunson, same thing. If he tries on defense, he's okay. We just need guys to try. And Tom Thibodeau is going to get that to work. RJ Barrett, we just need RJ Barrett to keep developing. And I like RJ Barrett. I know there's a lot of RJ Barrett slander out there. But RJ Barrett shot 34% last year from 3. It was a 20-point score on 41%. Obviously, we want him to have more efficient numbers. But again, being a 6 rebounds a game type guy, 3 assists, about a steal a game, I like that. Okay? He's a good player. He's fun to watch. Now, I don't know, man. I do think this whole situation, is it interesting? Of course. I think this is something none of us were entirely expecting. But yeah, I want to hear you guys' thoughts down below. What do you guys think of the Knicks? I think RJ Barrett, again, becoming more efficient of a player is what is absolutely needed. And then you look over here, I think Emmanuel quickly, we're waiting for him to take another jump. Okay, Obi Toppin, we saw flashes. We know what you're capable of. So please put it together and make it all work. But I do think, is it strange? I don't know if the word strange is what is going to be, is the best way to describe this. But I would say it's definitely an interesting choice of, like, Obi Toppin, we know what he can. I don't know. I'm a big proponent that they should trade Julius Randle and go with Obi Toppin, because I think Obi Toppin showed flashes last year of being a really good player, especially after the All-Star break. But I know other people will argue that, nah, he shouldn't because of defense. Quentin Grimes, I've already made a video. I think Quentin Grimes is going to have a breakout season. Quentin Grimes, underrated player who I think is going to have, man, just such a year. Okay, such a year. He's really going to break out, and people are going to be like, how did this guy just fly under the radar this whole time? And I'm going to be here and be like, hey, I told you so. I told you so. And how's it feel to be wrong, bitch? I don't know why I said it like that, but again, this team definitely they're definitely a playoff team. I don't know if they're top 6. I think they're definitely a playoff team at the very least. We can all agree that this team will make the playoffs, and rightfully so. They definitely deserve to be in the playoff conversation. My one problem with this team is, will they be able to defend? Okay, they have a lot of offense and they have a defensive coach, but that doesn't mean, look at the Lakers, a defensive coach does not mean you will play defense. You need guys who will be willing to play said defense. And I'll admit, I don't know if they have those guys necessarily needed to play the defense that Tom Thibodeau would like to play. So that's basically it from me, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. A little simple one. Just wanted to get some messages across, talk about the things that I thought were important. But besides that, I do hope you guys have a great day. Like and subscribe, do all that good jazz. Peace.